good, YouTube? It's your boy 23 Shots back on another video. Today we have a Reddit video going through r/PettyRevenge. We gonna see what's the pettiest revenge, on this app and see what the hell going on. Let's do all time and let's get to this shit. Alright, first user, Salad Unlucky. My neighbor's dog ruined my sleep, so I used it to ruin his. Hold on, man. Hold on. Come on. We gotta let him play this shit. Google Word play. Speak to text. Text to speak. My nigga. How the fuck do I do this shit? Oh, it should be text to speech, right? Fuck, I'm dumb as a bitch. Oh, let me just put it in my text to speech. My shit might be delayed, though. Hopefully my shit ain't delayed. Let's do that. Let's see.
My neighbor's dog ruined my sleep, so I used it to ruin his. Every night from midnight to 3 a.m. his dog would bark non-stop right outside my bedroom. Deep loud echoing barks like he was announcing the end of the world. I asked my neighbor twice to bring the dog in. Both times he brushed it off with a smirk and said he's just doing his job. Cool. Then I'll do mine. I started recording the barking on my phone. The next morning at 6 a.m. right after.
The next morning at 6 a.m. right after my neighbor got home from his night shift, I played it back full volume through a speaker, pointed it at his wall. I repeated that for 2 mornings, no yelling, no threats, just his dog giving him a taste of what I've been dealing with. On day 3, the dog was inside before 10 p.m., hasn't barked that night since. Sometimes the best revenge is press and play. Damn, I guess he clocked his T. Next one is from Initial Afternoon. She's always called me just the boyfriend, so I helped her move quietly. What the fuck does that mean? Let's see what the hell this means, cause hey man. Damn, this shit kinda ending though. Fuck. I might need to play it. I need to text to speech. Do this.
He couldn't help but smile as he watched the sun rise.
He couldn't help but smile.
I can't believe we...
Dear team, I hope this...
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do Derek. Come on, bro. Yup. How you play this shit?
She always called me just the boyfriend, so I helped her move quietly. My girlfriend's sister never liked me. Every time we were around family, she'd say stuff like, "You're just her boyfriend, not family," or "Don't get too comfortable." I let it slide for over a year because I didn't want to start drama.
Damn.
A few months ago, she needed help moving apartments. Nobody else was free, and she asked me. I said sure,
No
showed
way.
up early, loaded the truck, even brought her a coffee. She was kinda shocked. When we finished, she just looked at me and said, "I didn't think you'd actually show." I just smiled and said, "Yeah, I'm just the boyfriend of your sister." Remember, she stared at me for a second and acted like guilty. She's been way more respectful since.
Damn. Yeah, that is kind of petty. I'm not gonna lie. That is kind of petty, bro. I'm not gonna lie. What's good, Jam? Next one is from some username 47. You don't like your boyfriend seeing me braless in the dorm, then he won't. Huh? Man, what?
You don't like your boyfriend seeing me braless in the dorm? Then he won't. I live in a college dorm on an all-female floor. I usually wear a bra if leaving the dorm building, but I'm not going to put on a bra under my shirt just to walk down the hall to the bathroom. A few days ago, I left my room and walked 10 yards down the hall to the water fountain, refilled my water bottle, and went back to my room. I was wearing a white tank top and no bra. There was a small group of people hanging out in the hall outside a few of the rooms, but I didn't think much of it. Until around half an hour later, when I got a knock on the door from one of the girls I'd seen in the hall. She said something to the effect of, "Hey, so sorry to ask you this, but if you go out into the hall again, could you put a bra on? My boyfriend's out there, and he was staring a little."
Bro,
so,
ain't that your boyfriend fault?
I'm super non-confrontational, so I was like, yeah, sure, sorry about that. And for the rest of that night, anytime I left my room, I put a bra or sweater on. And that was the end of it. Or so I thought.
What the
The next day, my roommate told me she'd overheard the girl telling a few of her friends about the incident while in the bathroom. She said the girl was making it sound like I'd been purposely trying to seduce her boyfriend, wearing basically nothing, taking my time at the water fountain, posing to push out my tits. The whole works. When she left the bathroom, my roommate said the girl was actually acting it out at the water fountain, pretending to be me. That night, I passed the girl and some of her friends on my way to go brush my teeth. The girl looked pointedly down at my chest, and all of them started giggling. But the last straw was when the entire dorm got an email from the RA yesterday, saying she'd gotten some anonymous complaints about people dressing inappropriately in the hallways, and asking that we all just make sure we're keeping things covered up. So here's where I got my petty little revenge. I knew that the girl's boyfriend doesn't go to college here. I also knew that due to the pandemic, we aren't allowed to have non-student family guests in the dorms this year.
Oh, it's been a
So I used the same anonymous complaint form to issue a complaint about people bringing their off-campus boyfriends into our dorm and them not wearing a mask. Masks are mandatory in the hallways, although not frequently enforced. This morning, the RA emailed again, saying that due to anonymous complaints, they'd be enforcing the no off-campus guest rule by checking IDs of unfamiliar guests to make sure they were students from then on. Really, this girl should be thanking me. If she was concerned about her boyfriend seeing the vague outline of my tits in the dorm hallways, she no longer needs to worry.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, that might be beyond petty, my nigga. That right there is beyond petty, man. But not really, though. It's really the girl's fault, because, like, that don't even make sense. I don't know. Neighbor took my parking spot after I poured water in his windshield. Nah, it's not really a scream. Entitled Parker parked in my driveway, so I blocked them in and got drunk all weekend. What the fuck? Wait, I low-key want to hear this one. What the heck, bro? Alright, let's play this one.
Drunk all weekend. Friday night, I came home from work to find someone on our block was having a large party, and someone decided they were entitled to park in my driveway. Keep in mind my driveway is a single car width lined with a retaining wall on both sides and a garage.
Nah, still in the actual
impossible
parking?
for a tow truck to come pull them out without property damage. Seeing this and the lack of street parking, I took this as a cue to park right behind them in my driveway. Now a few hours go by, and their entitled parker is now knocking at my door demanding I move my car so she can leave.
Limit reached? Man, are we serious, bro? Man, you get limits on a text-to-speech, my nigga? Nigga, limits on text-to-speech is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. What the hell?